So, Laurie, you play multiple roles in the Gospel of John. Everything from Mary, the mother of Jesus, to one of the mobs of people who wanted to crucify Jesus in the end. So, how do you prepare yourself for such a role?
Well, I would say that, I would say that in the whole journey of this particular play, part of what all three of us have discovered is that there wasn't any way to prepare for this play. When we began, we had been basically handed this project with blessings from the TaurusVoice group that had been performing it in England for 4 years. And they sent us their costumes and their script, which was really just an edited copy of the Gospel of John. Nothing had been changed, nothing had been interpreted. And so we were given this script and a deadline by which to memorize our lines. So we memorized our lines without knowing anything about what the play looked like or what the choreography was or what the visual tasks of any of these three actors portraying all these dozens and dozens of characters was. And then one of those actors came for less than 2 weeks and taught us the form of the play. They taught us all the choreography and all of the blocking and left. And suddenly there we were with a play that we had never performed before, we hadn't rehearsed, and we hadn't created. So our task was to meet this brand new entity that was the play of the Gospel of John, but was not an interpretation of the Gospel of John. And our task was to not impose anything on it. Not bring to bear our opinions of Mary, the Mother of God, or Mary or her sister Martha, or Lazarus, or the disciple whom Jesus loved, or any of these people, but to try to listen to the words, which were the words straight out of the gospel, until they could become more and more transparent and would direct what we were doing. And so that has been a huge part of the journey of this play, has been listening to those characters who are also not just characters, but who are vast archetypes and who are also historical personalities, and more than historical personalities, and to allow ourselves to be permeable enough as actors and as speakers so that what we were listening to and what we were hearing and what is there in the words themselves and in the pictures, the images that live in this greatest story ever told, would have a place to come to life in us. And since our job was as actors, would come to life in our gesture and in our intonation and in our way of moving and way of being and way of interacting on the stage. And I would even say our way of interacting off the stage. Every year it has become more clear that this play for the three of us doesn't only live on the stage when we're performing it, but it has informed and permeated our relationships to each other as human beings. And it has made better our relationships to each other as human beings. It's been a remarkable journey to find that we have come up against each other, and we have together found ways to work through our differences and come to this very intense warmth and honesty and realness and authenticity and real love for one another as actors and people, and that also then somehow radiates through what we're doing on the stage. This play long ago ceased to be a play, just a performance piece for any of the three of us, and has been a place of initiation and a place of humility where we come to see ourselves and each other more and more clearly. And I mean, the place where you started the question, you were asking about the women in many ways. I'm the only woman in this cast of three, and I'm the only one playing the women's parts, although there are also all these other parts, from the Pharisees to the mobs to the disciples, as well as Mary and Martha and the Mother of God. And there is something there that has to do with this embracing, holding, carrying, inviting gesture that, you know, anybody who has spent any time with the Gospels feels from them. And those, I would say, they have prepared me, not the other way around. There was nothing I could do to prepare for them but listen and pay attention and make enough space and enough transparent for them to speak.